Hello, everyone. This is Mindy Pechenuk. I'm candidate for Oakland Mayor in the November 2026 election. And sitting with me is Michael Rush. And we're actually in Washington, D.C. for the time being this week, meeting with the Congress, the Senate. I'm here on behalf of Promethean Action, which both Michael and I work with directly. And it's been an exciting week. So I wanted to have a chance, since Michael is of the Gen Z generation, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And I wanted to get his views on what the young people need and what the young people are interested in, and how we're going to get them more involved in politics and for my campaign for mayor. So, Michael, what is your first thoughts on what is on the minds of the young people?
I think a lot of the young people's looking for somebody that really wants, affordable, they want to be able to have a family, they want to be able to live. And right now it's fairly impossible. But with the system crashing, we're going back to the American system, is a really great thing. But I think that the one of the things that the young people are really looking for is they're looking for someone that knows, because they, like I said before, they want to have like a family, they want to be able to live. And a lot of people are having a hard time. They're struggling, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and it's very hard, it makes it very life very hard. And actually, I would say that the first person that really spoke to the young people was Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk,
Absolutely,
Charlie,
absolutely.
Charlie Kirk spoke to the young people. He'd go to all these campuses, and he had a lot of great thoughts. And I think if we would put what he says to to heart, I think that we'd make our country a better place.
Great, great. Well said. And I just want to follow up on that because here we are in a situation where, like in Oakland, where I'm running for mayor, the current mayor, Barbara Lee, I think I'm going to change her name to Barbara Liar Lee. and and just the whole way the city's run for decades, it's really stealing from the population their life. It's stealing, you know, their safety. It's stealing their income. They rather tax everybody in Oakland rather than build an industry, manufacturing. They've driven out the revenue with the crime. So, as a young person, Generation Z, what would you advise me to do as mayor to reach the young people?
I'd start with social media. That's the go-to. Everybody has their phones and everybody's on TikTok, everybody's on Instagram, everybody's on Facebook. And it's really great. I think that if you would have like ads all over the place, like TikTok, Facebook, and all that other stuff, it's a great thing because even people, even Gen X people, they all are on social media because that's the go-to information now, not it's online websites, stuff like that, and it's really like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X is a
Mhm.
big one, and everybody's on those kind of platforms. It's really going all digital.
Okay, as you can tell from my gray hair, the digital was not always in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So I may have to call on your help to do some of that. I love it. And I just want to ask another question, and we're going to do more of these. So this is just the first intro from Michael and I to bring and reach out to the Oaklanders, the younger generation, and get them involved in actually creating their life. And I think that's something that you have done, Michael. You've been
Yeah.
very involved. Do you want to say a few words about that?
Oh, me involved in politics?
Yeah.
So actually, a little brief summary here. Actually, who made me really get into politics was President Trump, and at that time was candidate Trump. And I remember I was really young then, but I identified with President Trump because he spoke to what a lot of people were feeling at the time. And every aide in every office that we go in Washington, D.C., they always ask me, like, what do you love about the president, or what do you love about this senator or congressman or congresswoman? Um, and I would say that I like how he's true. He's just like you or I. He speaks to what a lot of people feel. They feel like they've been let down by the system. They feel like they've been done dirty, and the government lies to them and constantly lies to them. And I think President Trump, I watched a documentary called Inside the White House. It was about President Trump, and they said his Road to the White House, and they said that President Trump is the only politician. I hate that word politician because he's
Yes,
not a
right,
politician.
right.
But they said that President Trump's the only politician, and I love what he campaigned on. He campaigned on the forgotten because there was people that voted for Trump. Like there's people vote for Trump that you would never expect that ever came out and voted because, like they said in the documentary, President Trump is the only politician that spoke to them. And the forgotten, they feel like they've been screwed
Right,
over by the government. They feel like that a lot of people let them down. And I think that Trump or Charlie Kirk or whoever it is, I think it speaks to those necessities. But the big one with the young people is they want to be able to have a family. They want to be able to live. They're tired of not being able to live. And it doesn't matter what state you're in, it's really bad. Gas is high, a lot of stuff is high, and our president's working on it.
well, that's fantastic. And what I want to say to conclude the little dialogue today is that what Michael just raised about the caring for the forgotten men and women, the caring for the working class. And that's very important. Both myself as a candidate for mayor and as mayor, that's my priority. And I know it is President Trump's, and I know a lot of people think otherwise. They've heard a lot of noise in the media or from their friends. And I call on everybody to really look at, this is not a Democratic issue. This is not a Republican issue. It's not a NPP independent decision. These are the policies. This is the morality. We're created in the image of God, and he gave us a beautiful, wonderful mind to use. And that's what this is about. So we have to join together our forces and not let anybody divide us because they think we're this party or that party. So I want to conclude with that today and thank Michael very much. It was a great week organizing with him, and I look forward to a lot more. So go to my website, electmindy.com, and Michael wants to add something in.
And real quick, we're gonna end it with let's make Oakland
And
great.
great again.
Yeah, let's make Oakland great again and elect Mindy. She's great. Know her very well.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, stay tuned for more to come. There we go. Sounds very good. Okay,
It's still recording. You're gonna have to.
I thought, no, I stopped it.
Are you sure you want to stop there? Make sure we